Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Reading Rural, y'all. This is our fourth and final installment of our four-part series on Nora Shalaway Carpenter's Rural Voices anthology. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I might approach teaching this text. So I've written more about this in a piece that has been accepted by the Montana English Journal and should be coming out soon, so you'll be able to read more about it after it goes to print. Follow me on Twitter at Reading Rural for more updates and to know when that piece comes out. It'll be a lot more detailed than what I'm going to discuss here, but in general, because this collection offers such a wide variety of depictions of rurality, it makes a perfect text to help students tackle questions like, what does it mean to be rural? What does rural look like, sound like, taste like, feel like, smell like? How does my rurality compare to those featured in the texts? What do I recognize and what can I learn from what I don't? So asking those questions across all of the text to sort of create a more nuanced definition of what rural means, or a more inclusive definition of what rural means, could make for a really, really interesting project to do with this text. Running an inquiry unit where students frame their readings of each piece in the collection by that question, what does it mean to be rural? Students could keep a running tally of how rurality is depicted in each of the pieces and what that means for the possibility of having that overall definition of rural. Is it even possible? How do we think about naming what rural is, or what rural means, or who gets to claim a rural identity? If an overall definition of rural isn't possible because there are so many differences and nuances, should we start attaching geographies to the term rural? So rural Southwest, rural Midwest, are those still too broad? Do they still hold too much nuance? And so really troubling this idea of naming something and what that means for the people who are included in that group, which then could connect to various different other pieces that you might read throughout the year about rural people or about other people who are sort of named by different identity markers, and what it means to use that term as sort of an overall general name for people who might belong to that category. So there's a lot of sophisticated work and thinking that students can do there. Also, if you notice, I dropped my first ever author talk. I'm so excited about these. Nora and I talk about so many things in her talk that might be helpful to you and the students in your classroom. Each of the major things that we discuss are listed in the time code, or listed by time code in the description of that video. And we cover everything from her rural background and its impact on her writing, to what her writing life is like, tips for becoming a writer, and the importance of reading and writing authentic rural stories. Really just authentic stories. But we talk about rural stories in particular. So I hope that you'll check it out and share some or all of it with your students. I'm really excited to keep rolling with these, and I hope more authors will hop on board and be willing to donate their time in a way that Nora was so generous to do. That's it for today. Join us for our next 4-part series on J.R. Jameson's new memoir, Hillbilly Queer. Thanks for stopping by. Y'all come back now, would ya?